If I told you that your body has been quietly influencing your career choices your entire life, would you believe me? Most people wouldn't, because we like to think career success comes entirely from intelligence, education, or hard work. And those things matter. But biology matters too. Long before humans built offices, universities, and corporations, our ancestors survived by solving very different problems. Some tracked animals across vast landscapes. Some built tools. Some coordinated groups. Some navigated dangerous terrain. And over thousands of generations, the human body evolved countless ways of handling those challenges. The result? Different people often feel naturally drawn toward different environments. Not because their future is predetermined, but because their brains and bodies may be optimized for certain kinds of tasks. So what clues might your body be giving you? Let's find out. The endurance body built for the long game. Have you always been the person who can keep going long after everyone else wants to quit? Not necessarily the fastest, not necessarily the strongest, but the most consistent. You may have inherited traits associated with endurance. Scientists have discovered that people vary in the proportion of fast-twitch and slow-twitch muscle fibers they possess. Slow-twitch fibers are incredibly efficient at producing energy over long periods. They're built for sustained effort rather than explosive bursts. This is one reason endurance athletes often excel at activities requiring patience, repetition, and long-term focus. A famous example is Eliud Kipchoge. His success isn't based on extraordinary bursts of power. It's based on remarkable consistency over extreme distances. Interestingly, many careers reward the same quality. Researchers, writers, engineers, scientists, people who spend years solving difficult problems often succeed because they can maintain effort when progress feels slow. In evolutionary terms, persistence was a survival advantage. And in modern life, it often remains one. The explosive body is built for fast decisions. Now let's look at the opposite end of the spectrum. Some people seem designed for action. They thrive under pressure. They make decisions quickly. And they often perform best when the stakes are high. Part of this may be linked to a greater proportion of fast-twitch muscle fibers. These fibers generate force rapidly but fatigue more quickly. They're ideal for sprinting, jumping, and explosive movement. One of the most famous examples is Usain Bolt. His body was optimized for producing enormous power in a matter of seconds. But the interesting part isn't athletics. It's behavior. Studies suggest that people who enjoy high-intensity environments often seek careers that provide constant stimulation. Emergency medicine, entrepreneurship, sales, military leadership, crisis management. These careers reward rapid adaptation and decisive action. The same biological systems that help someone explode off a starting block may also make them comfortable in fast-moving environments. The precision hands are built for fine control. Now look at your hands. Human hands are extraordinary. In fact, many anthropologists argue that our ability to manipulate objects precisely helped shape civilization itself. The human thumb allows a precision grip unlike anything seen in most other species. But even among humans, fine motor control varies significantly. Some people naturally excel at tasks requiring extreme precision. Think about surgeons, watchmakers, artists, dentists, musicians. These professions depend on tiny movements repeated thousands of times. One of the most famous examples was Harvey Cushing, whose precision transformed modern brain surgery. If you've always enjoyed detailed work, your body may be providing subtle clues about the kinds of tasks it handles best. The spatial thinkers built to see the bigger picture. Have you ever been able to visualize objects in your head with unusual clarity? Can you rotate shapes mentally? Read maps easily? Understand how systems fit together? Scientists call this spatial intelligence. And it plays a critical role in countless professions. Architects, pilots, designers, engineers, urban planners. Research suggests that strong spatial reasoning often correlates with specific patterns of visual processing in the brain. Historically, these abilities would have been valuable for navigation, hunting, tool-making, and environmental awareness. Today, they help people design skyscrapers, fly aircraft, and create technologies that shape modern life. The same skill that once helped our ancestors navigate unfamiliar landscapes now helps humans navigate complex systems. The social signalers, built to influence. Human beings are social animals. For most of our evolutionary history, survival depended on communication. The ability to persuade, teach, coordinate, and inspire often determined who succeeded. This is why the human voice is such a powerful tool. Researchers have found that vocal characteristics influence how listeners perceive confidence, leadership, and trustworthiness. That doesn't mean a voice guarantees success, but communication ability often shapes opportunity. Think about great teachers, public speakers, lawyers, broadcasters, leaders. One of history's most powerful communicators was Martin Luther King Jr. His influence came not only from ideas but from his ability to deliver them. Some people naturally gravitate toward careers centered around communication because their strengths emerge most clearly when interacting with others. The high-energy explorers. Now consider your daily energy patterns. Some people constantly seek novelty, new experiences, new challenges, new ideas. Psychologists often link this tendency to differences in dopamine systems within the brain. Dopamine plays a major role in motivation, exploration, and reward-seeking behavior. Throughout evolution, exploration carried enormous risks, but it also created opportunities. Groups needed individuals willing to investigate new territories, resources, and possibilities. Today, those same tendencies often appear in entrepreneurs, innovators, creators, and startup founders. People who enjoy uncertainty often succeed in careers where no days look the same. The environment changes. The challenges change. And that's exactly what keeps them engaged. The deep specialists. Not everyone is built to chase novelty. Some people become fascinated by a single subject and spend years mastering it. These individuals often thrive in careers requiring deep expertise. Medicine, physics, programming, research, law. Evolutionary psychologists sometimes describe this as specialization. In ancestral environments, communities benefited from individuals who developed unusually deep knowledge in specific areas. The modern world still rewards this trait. Many groundbreaking discoveries come from people willing to focus intensely on one problem for decades. While explorers search for new opportunities, specialists transform existing knowledge into expertise. Both are valuable. They simply solve different problems. The evolutionary generalists. And then there are the generalists. The people who seem reasonably good at everything. For years, many generalists worry they aren't specialized enough. But history tells a different story. Humans became the planet's most adaptable species largely because of flexibility. We can learn, adjust, switch roles, acquire new skills, and thrive in changing environments. Generalists often excel in leadership, management, consulting, and entrepreneurship because they understand how different systems connect. They may never become the world's greatest specialist, but they frequently become the people who bring specialists together. And that ability is incredibly valuable. The real secret. So what does your body secretly reveal about your ideal career? Not a job title, not a salary, and certainly not your destiny. What it reveals are tendencies, strengths, preferences, and biological clues about the environments where you may naturally perform at your best. Some bodies thrive on endurance, some on action, some on precision, some on communication, some on exploration, some on mastery, and some on adaptability. None are superior. They're simply different solutions to different challenges. The biggest mistake people make is assuming everyone is supposed to succeed the same way. Evolution never worked like that. Human diversity exists because different traits helped solve different problems. And many of those traits still influence us today. So if you've ever wondered why certain careers feel energizing while others feel exhausting, don't just look at your resume. Look at yourself. Because your body may be carrying clues that have been there all along. And understanding those clues might be one of the most powerful forms of self-discovery there is.